Hey, what's going on, folks? I'm AutoMattock. We're gonna talk about footsies. Boom, boom, boom. Everything everybody hates about other things, right? And they want to complain and blah 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 blah. Like, what is footsies? It's got footsies. It's with punishing in Street Fighter 5. Blah 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 blah. I'm trolling, right? I'm trolling. So in third strike, footsies are extremely important, and it's very clear when your opponent doesn't know how to zone and space properly. So I'm just gonna go over very, very fundamental basics. And Ken. Everybody has a pocket Ken, right? Everyone knows how to play this character. Well, everybody that I know that plays third strike has a pocket Ken. And there's different ways to approach Ken, in my opinion. There's ways that I like to teach, and ways that other people have different approaches. But from the mid-range, this button, and that's it for now. For now, that's it. That's all we'll talk about. Now we're doing this in a whiff punishing sense, in a mindset. So I want to program Ken to do just a few things, and you can do this just for training purposes. I'm going to record him just to do a low forward, but first I'm going to give myself a visual indication. You don't need one to whiff punish, but just to warm somebody up to the idea. I'm going to program Ken to do a crouching jab and then a low forward, and then I'm going to punish the... What is with the... Oh, I killed it. No, I just put moth juice on my stick. So you want to punish the low forward, right? On reaction, you see the low forward, you sweep it, right? But you also want to stand at a range where he will not hit you, but you can still whiff punish him. And that's why you see this idea sometimes in like the earlier third strike days, where there's kind of like, I'm pretending to obscure the spacing. I'm not saying it wasn't successful, but it certainly was an idea that people used to sort of make buttons whiff and then whiff punish you with that. So yeah, as you can see, the roundhouse does have more range. I think the roundhouse is faster. I don't know the frame data off the top of my head, but both of them you can use to whiff punish just as well as you could with low forward and roundhouse. So yeah, you see your opponent with a button, then you punish them with roundhouse, and then you see low forward. Just the same thing. Now with the super, this is how you're whiff punishing. If you have the super and then you hit low forward, this is not unlike Street Fighter 5 footsies, where you do a button and then as you see them doing a button themselves, that's when you confirm into a move that might be unsafe on block. I'm not just doing this. I'm seeing the button as they are doing it while I'm hitting my button, and the choices that you're making, the reason why you're doing these things are dependent on the spacing of your opponent and their habits while they're at certain ranges. So, just to give you another idea, I might be standing at certain ranges and throwing in a low parry, where it might tag me, but I might get a low parry too. And then when I get a low parry, then I might do something like low forward super. Or I might just parry and then, oh, I parried a low forward. Maybe I should wait because he might buffer into super. So for example, this is probably more advanced than I should go into, but if I see the same thing, and then I parry that low forward, and then I try to punish Ken. Oh god, I'm too... I have to wait. If you parry and then try to parry again, it locks you out. You have to wait just a little bit. Oh man, we gotta see how good my reactions really are with my own programming, with no human tendencies involved. Now, if I try to punish Ken right here, he will punish me. If I try to parry and then go in between the low forward buffering, it's a lot like the video I made with Hugo, where he's buffering into something. So I want to parry and then block, and then maybe punish. If I'm able to recognize the situation, I can punish him late, where he would super or where he's forced to be vulnerable. So there's the idea there. But that is the basic concept of what I really, it's so important to understand. It's this range here of this and this. And then once you see someone like me doing things like low parrying at that range, that's when the standing roundhouse can become effective. And you'll see when I play Hugo, you'll notice I run into a lot of standing roundhouse because I don't care. It's more valuable for me to get some parries and at least implement in my opponent's mind that they have to be so conscious of their spacing. Because if I can condition my opponent to start choosing their buttons based on my behavior, I can then get a good read, and if I have 720, I get a parry 720. You'll see people all the time. They slow down so much. They won't do dash up low forward against me because I'll low parry and 720 them. It's so satisfying. This game is there's a lot of emotional content involved with just understanding how your opponent is behaving and countering it precisely. That's why I love Hugo so much, because I feel like I'm constantly threading the needle. Sometimes it's not fun, but because I could just be constantly getting stabbed by the needle, right? But that's it for today. Footsies, low forward, crouching roundhouse. Know the spacing, whiff punish, and understand where and why your opponent is doing what they're doing. So that's it for now. I hope you learned something. Like, comment, and sub. Let me know what you guys think. If you got any questions, hit me up. I try my best to respond within a day. And yeah, Third Strike is a good game. I'm AutoMattock.